the only player at the shortstop spot or the left side spot they couldn't get a ball through. He put on, I'll never forget it, quite a show. The only player playing the left side of the infield, and the coach was hitting hard ground balls to the left side of the infield. He hit him at second base, hit him towards third base, and Iglesias running all over town. And I got to tell you, I will never forget it. A 1-year deal. He'll be a starter at shortstop, and Richie Martin out the door. He's going to be 30, and he spent 2019 with Cincinnati. Played most of his career, of course, with the Red Sox, the Tigers. So, look, not exactly a offensive threat, although he's gotten better over the years. He's been worth at least one win above replacement, according to Fangraphs, because of his defense. So he absolutely fills a hole that was left by trading Jonathan Villar. Okay, he was the Orioles' primary shortstop. So last year's Rule 5 pick, Richie Martin, who spent all of 2019 in the majors, he will wind up playing in AAA. He didn't have a chance to play AAA last year. He needs a year of seasoning and development, and that's the story there. So Iglesias goes in, Richie Martin goes out. Got that? Ray K! Ladies and gentlemen, Ray K is back. I thought we lost you there, Ray K. Rotorius has joined us, so great to have you all. Free Willie Calhoun, says Ray K. Okay, back to the action. All right, I'm not going to make a big deal, but Akiyama, who reached an agreement with Cincinnati, he'll make $6 million in 2020. I don't care about that. But here's the deal. Remember when I told you, with Akiyama now in the fold, he has shown some speed. He had 12 stolen bases in the last 5 years or more in seasons the last 5 years. So here's the deal. This could open up Nick Senzel to be traded. That's right. And which team is in love with Nick Senzel? That's right, the Cleveland Indians. So all you Cincinnati Red blubber fans out there, the Cleveland Indians in love with Nick Senzel. Will Harris and Daniel Hudson. Will Harris and Daniel Hudson. Now, Will Harris and Daniel Hudson, both ranked in the top 15 of all relief pitchers last year in ERA plus with a minimum of 50 innings. The only team besides the Nationals that currently has more than one pitcher on the list of ERA plus minimum of 50 innings in the top 15, who's the team? Name the team. Only team other than Washington, okay, that has more than one reliever on a list of ERA plus minimum of 50 innings in the top 15, okay? The Nationals should have a monster bullpen. They got Daniel Hudson, who'll earn $11 million. They also have Doolittle, Harris, Tanner Rainey, the hard thrower who we talked about yesterday. And by the way, I forgot to give you the odds on Washington, but we'll do that when we talk about Tampa. Ronis Elias, Hunter Strickland. So the Nationals obviously made another big decision regarding their bullpen, and they agreed to a deal with Daniel Hudson, okay, pending a physical. See, this is why you can't. When they signed Harris, everybody's saying, well, that takes care of Daniel Hudson. The Nationals were willing to offer multiple years, okay? So $11 million. Hudson can earn an additional $1 million. Who cares about that? So I'll tell you what, he'll be 33 in March, and all of a sudden Daniel Hudson has hit the scene. He hit 4 postseason saves, finished a 6-2 win over the Astros in Game 7. So he's a hybrid. He can do anything. Harris can do anything. Doolittle can do anything. Doolittle is the incumbent closer, but he could also be used in a variety of situations. I'll tell you what. Doolittle, Harris, Hudson, 7th, 8th, 9th innings. along with Tanner Rainey for that one strikeout, Hunter Strickland. It's going to be pretty cool. The Nationals really helped themselves. So they've been quite busy, of course, adding Starling Castro, Asdrubal Cabrera. And if the Nationals wanted to sign Josh Donaldson, they would have to exceed the competitive balance tax threshold. That's why I think that Washington could be out, although the Lerner family has been known to say everything goes. Atlanta Braves really have other favorites, okay? So if it seems less likely that Donaldson winds up in Washington, the possibility still remains. The initial offer, around 4 years, $100 million, okay? The asking price has come up in the last couple of. Donaldson's playing the market, okay? So Washington elected to go. Their bullpen last year had a 5.66 ERA. That was the worst ever for a playoff team. Okay, I'll give you the answer to the trivia question in just one moment. Okay, so I'll get to the next acquisition, but let me give you the answer to the trivia question. The New York Yankees are the answer to go along with Washington in ERA plus. All right, Andrea had the Indians, Atlanta, Tampa. It was the Yankees. Okay, so there you go. It was the New York Yankees. Anybody you're hitting your head now and going duh? Okay, chat room a little quiet right now. Okay, a little quiet. Now Eric, what's his name? Eric Thames. Well, I'll tell you what. Last year you had Rosenthal, you had Barraclaw. Oh, they made a big deal. Okay, big deal. Now, Thames gets a $4 million guaranteed. So they showed the Marlins had some interest in signing Eric Thames this offseason. But they claimed Jesus Aguilar instead. And some are very optimistic about Aguilar. I know I've heard from reliable sources that many are not. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how that works out. Eric Thames, who homered in his final game of the 2019 season in Nationals Park, will get a chance to hit many more. All right? So we'll see what happens about Thames. The Brewers paid Thames $1 million buyout. Okay? Had a thumb injury in 2018. Remember, he homered off Max Scherzer in the wild card game in Washington to give the Brewers a 3-1 lead. He batted .241 in 3 years with Milwaukee. So Thames' deal comes after the Nationals. Look, they're taking this thing seriously. The Nationals are doing a good job, okay? Absolutely doing a good job. White Sox catcher James McCann is going to be working on his defense this week. That's been the thing. Offensively, he's a pretty good offensive player, but it's defense that has kept him back, and they're kind of counting on him to catch. This way they can play Grandal either at first base or DH. So Jerry Narron has been helping him. He helped Lucroy and Maldonado with the Brewers. McCann was an all-star, and the White Sox acquiring Encarnacion and Grandal could make him a very interesting target, too. Wouldn't be surprised if he's traded. And here's the all-unemployed pitching staff. Alex Wood, King Felix, Taijuan Walker, Jimmy Nelson, Ivan Nova. Whoa. The bullpen, Steve C. They're going to be I'll tell you what, listen to radio. There's going to be a lot of empty hours on the radio. Not a lot to talk about. The bullpen, Brandon Kinsler, Pedro Strop, Francisco Liriano, and of course, it's mandatory to say Fernando Rodney. And here's the thing. So far, the Yankees have spent $336 million, the Nationals $314, the Angels $260, White Sox $195, Phillies $132, and so on down the road. Okay? Here's another trivia question for you. Here's one. Name a player to hit multiple home runs in a game off of Clayton Kershaw. Okay? Name the player who did it last year. Multiple home runs off of Clayton Kershaw. So here's the unemployed offensive team. Mitch Moreland, Jason Kipnis. I don't know who the shortstop would be. Josh Donaldson at third. Ozuna, Pilar, Castellanos, Yasiel Puig. All right, maybe Brian Dozier would be at second base. And you move Kipnis to short, something like that. Okay? So that's the all unemployed team. And there you go. I'm waiting for the All-Star voting to begin. You know, the Hall of Fame voting, not the All-Star voting. All right, now let's get to Tampa as our team of the day. The calendar, look, I'll tell you something. December is usually, and January are really the prime, really big months for baseball. All right, of course, December, you have the winter meetings, January, of course. But the Tampa team has been known to do things a little different, okay? They become shoppers looking for deals after the holidays, right? Okay? So last year, they didn't sign Asdrubal Cabrera until January. They signed Steve Pearce. They traded for Corey Dickerson in January. Colby Rasmussen, Logan Morrison were signed January and February, and so on down the road, okay? But to me, it seems that Tampa is just sitting back waiting for some of the bargains. Now, they might be open to signing Hunter Pence, okay, with Chi-Man Choi and Sugo on the roster. It's hard to see many at-bats for a left-handed first baseman such as Brandon Lowe. So we'll see what happens there. So you might say the Rays are usually 1 year ahead of the market. They really go out on that limb sometimes to do things a little different, okay? Avisail Garcia enjoyed being with the Rays. He's looking to cash in, okay? All three Rays free agents got paid well. Darno, Atlanta, Eric Sogard, okay? So we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at Tampa. Let's take a look at the Tampa starting lineup and tell you what they got. Okay, and don't forget, really appreciate everybody being here. Now, Andy's got a league going on. It's a slow draft. Okay, slow draft. I'm in it. I don't know why. I don't like slow drafts, but don't forget, if you have any questions, ask Andy. She'll be happy to sign you up. Andy always runs a good league. All right, Chi-Man Choi, Nate Lowe, Brian O'Grady are the three first basemen. Nate Lowe is not going to get a lot of playing time. I'll tell you that right now. Nate Lowe will not get a lot of playing time. Left-handed bat. Chi-Man Choi is a left-handed bat. Brandon Lowe's lefty. Austin Meadows, Kevin Kiermaier, Chasugo is lefty. But let's take a look at Chi-Man Choi. Okay? Chi-Man Choi. Anybody out there like Chi-Man Choi as a player? Anybody like Chi-Man Choi? Just asking that question, okay? He could wind up getting a lot of playing time at first base, although Lowe will be breathing down his neck, but don't go after Brandon Lowe. Chi-Man Choi will absolutely get the nod at first base. Now, here's what he does. The first baseman, his last two seasons have been kind of the same. He was in the Homer Park at Miller Park, and then he went over to Tropicana Field, which suppresses his power a little bit. He did improve his strikeout and walk rate last season, but his average exit velocity is consistent around the 85th percentile, so not terrible for Chi-Man Choi. Not terrible at all. He could be a very useful and underrated first baseman, as many people will be thinking Brandon Lowe. Okay, the possible He had a reasonable batting average, moderate power, slightly below average fly ball rate, and